Welcome back, everybody, to the Tradewaiters podcast, the comic book club where we read a different trade paperback every single week. I'm Daniel. You're Nathan. We're brothers. We read comics.
Hooray! Happy to be here.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Solid.
Me too.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about comics.
Didn't ask.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well.
Yeah, talking about comics makes everything better. But we got different time codes in our description. We got the book, which is Batman, Whatever Happened to the Caped Crusader. We got Back Matter Matters. We got the poll list, but we start with the news. And we got some hella news, Nathan.
Do we?
I didn't
some okay news.
I didn't have hella news, but then I went looking for news. I'm like, there's a lot. Now that I'm looking.
There's something that was a little spicy today.
Ooh.
So it's hot news. I mean, not at the time of you listening to this, reader, but
Listener. They don't read our podcast.
Yeah, sorry. Unless you're transcribing it right now, in which case, hello.
If you were deaf, would you still listen to podcasts?
No.
Would you read podcasts?
That's just reading. No. I'd rather read a book. I'd rather read Game of Thrones or something.
You read people describing something you read? Yeah.
Dude, that's a funny thought. But,
Yeah.
no, so Marvel apparently, this is something they got like misreported, but there was softtonic.com or something. It's like a news website, and they thought that from now on Marvel Comics will have a QR code to view the final page of whatever comic that you're reading.
Mm-hmm.
So you're reading the book, and then to get that final page with like the cliffhanger or like the thing or whatever, you scan a QR code, and that's how you get the page.
Okay.
That's not the case.
It's good.
There is a QR code at the end of the book, but the last page is there, and then you could scan the QR code to get an additional page of just fun stuff from the creative teams of the book and everything. I think the intention is to try and combat against like
digital sales.
No, these are QR codes on physical pages.
Or torrenting?
Yeah, torrenting. Yeah.
Okay.
And so they're experimenting with that might look like, because before the books even come out, I guess you can torrent them because they have to be scanned for digital, and somehow that gets leaked. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't really know how that all works, but I think they were trying this to, I don't know, see if they would still show up maybe on these torrenting websites. But it was just an additional page from the creative team that does the book. The first one was on Nyx or something, one of the X-Men books.
I thought it was NYX.
I don't know.
Is it New York X-Men?
It could be New York X-Men. I think they're already in New York, aren't they?
Isn't Nyx like a makeup brand or something?
I thought Nyx was an X-Men, and then it's like a team book. I don't know. I saw it, but I didn't pick it up.
Huh. So
yeah, I don't know what the long-term goal for that is or why they would do that, but people weren't liking it because they weren't understanding what it was. So, but you can just read your comics normally, and if you want to look at an extra page, you can. It's for free.
You think it's like back matter?
It can be, yeah, it can kind of be like back matter, I guess. But I think it's just an additional page, like set in context of the story. So, whatever they could do with the page. But I'd be cool with back matter on fucking comics.
Yeah.
Regular comics, just scan a QR code. But yeah, I don't really know. I feel like this won't catch on. And so those bonus pages, they are going to be collected digitally, and when they're collected, like in a trade. But if you don't do that and you've already bought this book and you wanted to go and you're so excited to scan your QR code and look at that bonus page, then like I assume those servers won't be up for forever. So
right.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, it's a little quirky.
Yeah.
As long as it isn't like another tab thing. You remember how they have like the tabs and that went to the digital comic and you can like read it digitally?
Like the AR or whatever?
No, like near the end there'd be like a little thing you could take off, like a little like Burger King like
little sticker thing.
Yeah, and then you could like type in the code and then you'd have that
comic digitally
in your Marvel app or whatever.
Yeah, I never did that.
I did it sometimes, but like when you take that off, that like it's gonna diminish like the value of it.
Yeah, which is a little silly.
Yeah, because it's not like mint or whatever.
Right.
But if you're touching it, it's not mint or whatever. But
yeah.
Anyway, then speaking of Marvel, they have their partnership with Dark Horse to do random stuff, and Dark Horse will be releasing a trade of just Jack Kirby covers.
Yeah,
coming out in January.
Why aren't they doing this?
I don't know. I think it's just to like, maybe that's just the expenses they didn't want to take on or whatever.
I guess they didn't want to put somebody in charge of doing that, so they just let Dark Horse do it and get the money.
Yeah,
but that sounds pretty cool.
Something like that.
I never really thought of Jack as like a cover artist.
He's just kind of an artist in general.
But he was like, back then there weren't like alternating like cover artists for your book, so
Yeah,
obviously he did like a bunch of covers and they're probably fucking sick.
Yeah,
So
that's neat. I think they could do that more with other stuff.
yeah, that'd be cool. What else you got?
Nathan, you like Rebel Moon?
No, I haven't checked it out though.
You need more Rebel Moon in your life?
I would like as much Rebel Moon as we can get.
Other than the 2 director's cuts coming soon?
Yeah, for the movie that he had complete creative control over. Yeah.
Well, Netflix, they had notes or whatever.
Yeah, the man.
But if you want more Rebel Moon, there's going to be a 6-part podcast that comes out.
Oh.
And it's going to be like one of those like narrative podcasts, and
Where it's like scripted and like...
yeah, like a scripted podcast.
Wow, it sounds bad.
It's going to be about the first like robot. The main robot in that, his name's like Jimmy or something, but there's there's other Jimmys.
Jimmy Origin?
Yeah, it's the first Jimmy is a part of the 6-part podcast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to just listen to that. And then when people ask me
You're
if
going in
I've
chronological order?
Yeah.
Very good choice.
No, just that. And then if people ask me if I've watched Rebel Moon, which people do a lot. People are really excited about Rebel
Left
Moon,
and right.
asking me if I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I'll say no, but I listen to the podcasts.
You just look like a person that's watched Rebel Moon,
Yeah. I mean, that's everybody. It's the new Star Wars, Daniel. But for Netflix.
Dude, I might watch the director's cuts. I saw like a
Dude,
trailer.
no, you can't.
It looked kind of good. And now that I've read like...
Do you actually think it'll be better?
It'll be better.
Okay. It will.
But not like worth it,
Better but not worth it.
Now that I've like read like some
That
heavy
should be
metal...
a letterbox review, like for the director's cut. Better but not worth it.
I'll write that down. Now that I've like read like some heavy metal comics and kind of have an idea of like what he was going for, I like get it, and he's not like
Yeah.
off. It's just like the subject matter like isn't that great, but perhaps we'll see. It's got legs, Nathan.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see if they ever learn how to run with those legs.
Yep.
Because it doesn't seem like they are currently. There's like a lot of teasers for like San Diego Comic-Con. So there's like a Psylocke teaser and like Omnipress teasing.
So a new Psylocke
but
book.
that happens. It's this weekend, right? As of recording, San Diego.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah, or like right now. Some people are like there right now somehow.
Maybe.
I don't know. You'd think it'd just be a weekend.
Maybe
thing.
it's longer.
But there's probably going to be hella news on whatever that's going on next week. So I won't even talk about teasers for this week.
It's weird that they just mentioned it, like a Psylocke book coming out in November.
Like, ooh.
But like you can't find like the creative team or anything or like a cover.
They'll announce that in San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But I think, which I'm down for. I like Psylocke, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just think she looks cool.
Yeah, Nathan, you like when we get a little bit of Spawn movie news every couple months?
I love it. I'm like, it's like a little fish food that I eat up
the
anytime I can.
The newest crumb is it's going to be called King Spawn.
Mistake, I think.
For some reason, yeah.
Probably
it's
mistake.
like a spin-off book, isn't it?
It should be like Spawn : King of Hell or something. Like
that'd be better.
I think, yeah, right? You can take that for free, Todd.
I feel like this
As a
movie is
fellow
going to be a
Arizonan.
lot like the 2018 or 2019 Hellboy.
Like
with like how like demonic it gets, I guess, and then like all the monsters and shit. I think it's just going to be like too much at once,
and people won't understand.
Yeah, and it'll be kind of a turnoff, or they'll try and cram too much into this movie.
But Daniel will like it.
I'll fucking love it probably.
I'm gonna leave and be like,
hey, was that so cool?
You're gonna leave and be stoked.
And you're like, it made no sense.
I'm like, I like a good hot mess of a movie.
Yeah.
Like, I like knowing that somebody likes this. It's just not me, though.
Yeah. And you'll be with them.
Yeah, and I will. It'll be you.
I'm sure me and Parker will love it for no good reason.
We'll definitely see it with Parker. He won't.
Unironically, yeah.
He will not let me see it without him. So,
speaking of Parker, Nathan.
Yeah.
He's going to come on for our Alien episode in preparation for Alien Romulus. And there's going to be an Alien Romulus prequel.
Wait, when does that
comic
movie come out?
The 16th.
Dude, we're going to be gone?
Yeah, we're going to have to watch it in Spanish.
Fuck, dude. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, that blows a little.
Oh, no. All right, anyway. Alien Romulus prequel?
Comic, yeah.
Prequel to Romulus, which is...
This movie.
this movie isn't Romulus a prequel or no? Just something else? I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either.
I think it's a.
But that sounds cool.
I don't know. I don't think it really matters.
Do we know who's doing the comic?
Yes, Zach Thompson and Daniel Picciotto.
Okay.
Or Picciotto. I don't know.
Interesting. Did you know Walt Simonson did like an Alien book?
Maybe.
It's fucking cool.
What's it called?
I think it's called like Alien, the graphic novel adaptation or something.
Like of the movie?
I think so. Yeah, it's pretty raw. I got it for Parker for his birthday.
Nice.
One of these years.
Nathan, you like Minor Threats?
I'm a fan.
Apparently it's gonna be a series at Netflix.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a show.
Wait, that's awesome.
They did it.
Patton did it?
They did what they set out to do.
All right.
To sell this IP. And I think Patton Oswalt and Jordan Blum are going to be writers on it.
Cool.
Which is a good thing.
Is Patton Oswalt going to act in it? Who could he be? Could he be Brain Tease, you think?
He'll be like Barfly or something.
Dude, that'd be a great idea. I haven't read that comic yet, but it fits. I know.
Yeah, I'm like just some like character that doesn't have a face that he can voice.
Yeah, either that or he's just like one of the bartenders at the bar and he's just like he's cleaning like a scotch glass or whatever with a rag.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
What if like he just like voiced like the Insomniac, like the Batman character, like he's all like murdering people and then
but he
it's
sounds
like his
Patton
voice.
Oswalt. Yeah. He sounds like MODOK.
Yeah, exactly.
I would not like that. I'd prefer he's just in the bar and he's making someone a Aperol spritz or something.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Or vodka cran.
Or vodka cran, as villains enjoy.
Yes.
That's cool. I can't wait to see more about it.
Yeah. Do you still have the number one? Hang on to it.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I gotta get that shit graded.
Yeah.
I gotta turn it in now, so I can
be a
hopefully
hot
get it
ticket
back.
item.
Yeah.
So that's neat. Hey, then I know you love musical biopics or biocomics.
Nope. Biocomics?
Biocomics.
What does that mean?
Biography comics.
Oh, there's another one?
Is another one for Def Leppard.
Whoa.
It's going to be called Def Leppard Hysteria.
That sounds terrible.
It's going to be written by Phil Collen, who is the guitarist of Def Leppard.
Cool.
Which is kind of neat. So it's probably a little
The
more
guitarist?
accurate.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. And then Elliot Rahal on art. It's going to be coming from Vault Comics.
They're doing some weird stuff over there, aren't they?
Yeah, mostly this kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Music comics are bad. And I don't think I've ever been convinced otherwise. But you know what we should check out? There's a book called 27 written by Charles Soule. And the concept is that he can make in his lifetime 27 banger songs. Like they're all number one, but he runs out after 27.
27 is like...
That's so many.
You're like one of the greatest artists of all time.
You're like Taylor Swift.
That's like Metallica. You know,
yeah,
like actual bangers, you know, where there's no bad
but how do you
parts.
space it out, you know? How many would you put in one album, you know? Because you don't want to be a one-hit wonder for a little bit.
No,
you know?
I do 999. 3 perfect albums.
Ooh, true. And then you fall off.
And then I die at 27.
Wow. You do 2 albums, wait 50 years, release your last album when you're like 90.
That'd be cool.
And then it's still a 10 out of 10 and then you die.
Yeah, and then just live off the royalties.
I think it's called 27.
Like I like that concept, but okay, so you said that you don't like music and comics?
No, I don't.
Or you don't like music comics?
No.
I personally don't like music in comics. I don't think it works, but I think...
Oh, music comics. That can
I think
be
that
something
works.
maybe.
Yeah.
But music in comics, if someone's singing, especially if it's an original song,
Yeah, no.
get out of here.
But like bio shit, that's cool,
Yeah, that's true.
you know? Like we got to read The Fifth Beatle sometime. That's a really good book.
Yeah, that sounds cool. That's the Darwin Cook one?
No.
Or no? What am I thinking of?
I don't know what you're thinking of.
Never mind. Anyway, this is a 27 book. So he's a rocker.
Who does the art on that?
Renzo Podesta.
Anyway, Def Leppard book. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Name one Def Leppard song, Nathan.
Dude, I can't. I couldn't tell you.
Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Good song.
That's it.
That's all I got. Is it about the making of that song?
It better be.
And then how it was at the end of Balls of Fury, I think.
Probably.
A music comic I like and I'll always get behind are Kiss comics, Daniel.
Absolutely.
Kiss comics, I'm there all the way.
We might be reading a Kiss comic later this year.
Is there another horror Kiss comic?
Perhaps.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Wait, what about...
Have we only done one Kiss comic? Only one?
That's such a funny statement.
We've only done one?
What?
And it was one of my favorite books we've ever done.
So good. What about like fucking Murder Falcon?
Oh, great book.
That's a music. There's music in that.
Top
comic.
3 of all time for me.
Yeah.
But only because he recorded metal music that you could listen to while you're reading the book.
I didn't listen to it. I
did.
read it and it was good.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, in other biocomic news.
Oh my God, there's more.
There's a one shot of the biography of Ryan Reynolds coming from Tidal Wave Comics.
Okay.
I think it's that same one who did like the Travis Kelce book.
Oh, right.
It's like in the vein of that.
Okay.
Or whatever. There's gonna be Ryan Reynolds' book. It's just a one shot though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is he involved in that at all?
Probably not.
Probably not.
And
right.
speaking of one shots,
Poison
Ivy / Swamp Thing : Feral Trees is a one shot coming at some point.
That seems like a sick collab.
Pretty good collab.
That
seems so obvious.
It seems like that should have been done many times.
A one shot?
Shot?
It's whack.
That's all they got?
Yeah. Written by G. Willow Wilson and art by Mike Perkins.
They're both great.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, do you like when celebrities write comics?
Ooh, never mind. I take it back.
You take it back? You're not excited about this book I'm about to tell you about?
What category is a celebrity in of fame? Is it actor, musician?
Actor.
Okay. That can be good.
Can be good.
Okay. What is it? A-list to D-list?
What?
The level of fame of the actor.
Are you telling me to rank them?
Rank them like level of fame. A-list actor to D-list.
I think to us, we'd probably put it at like a B tier.
But to the public?
Probably C.
Okay. I don't like it then. I don't think. So
okay.
What's the comic?
Creature Commandos. There's a comic coming out. It's going to be written by David Dashmalshin.
Oh, wait. That's awesome.
No, you don't like it. You don't want it.
No, I do. He does comics. He's a writer, Dado. He does comics.
Anyway, that's a new book coming out in October. That'll be prior to when like that show is supposed to come out.
Is he voice acting in that?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But he's writing it. Art by Jesus Hervas.
You think he's a C-list?
I think some people might consider him C-list.
You're probably right. I mean, he was in the last Nolan movie. He's been in multiple Nolan movies, actually. But
yeah.
But never the front runner, I guess. So yeah, C-list is probably
other than Late Night. But
yeah.
But yeah, and then Creature Commandos, the show, comes out in December.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Whoa. I forgot about that.
Yeah, dude.
We got to read a Creature Commandos book.
There's like old stuff.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll hate it.
You said it. I wrote it down. Nathan agreed.
No, God damn it. No, I'll take it back.
Can you initial right here?
Let me take some blood.
No takes back keys.
Yeah, you need to prick your thumb, put your blood on there.
Yeah. All right. Let's get in the book that we read this week.
It was Batman. Whatever happened to that one guy that dressed in a bat suit and ran around?
Yeah.
To the Caped Crusader. Written by Neil Gaiman with Andy Kubert on art, with Scott Williams inks and Alex Sinclair covers. Lettered by Jared Fletcher. So this is like, it collects 2 issues of Detective Comics, like 500 and something.
Yeah.
And then there's big back matter, I would say. But this is weird that this was collected at all, I feel like.
So there's like a normal collection, and then there's the deluxe collection, which is what we have.
Yeah.
And so the normal collection, I think it's just the 2 issues.
Yeah.
Because these are like oversized issues.
Batman 686 and Detective Comics 853. Those are the 2
books
weird.
that are collected. Yeah. They like cross over.
I think they probably were releasing the same week or the week after.
Still weird.
The other. Yeah, still a bit weird.
Yeah, we just picked this because it had Caped Crusader in the title.
in the name? Yeah.
Maybe someone will stumble upon it, Googling it or something. But yeah. What'd you think of this?
It's weird.
It is weird.
It's weird, but there's some interesting things that they do in there. I mean, the concept of the book is that Batman's dead, and then people are just like saying how he died, but everybody has conflicting stories or like just completely different stories in general about how he died, and no one seems to question the other person about what that was.
Yeah, and like his villains are like at his funeral and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And everyone has their own mobile.
Which I like to think would happen.
Yeah.
The villains would just stop terrorizing Gotham for a little bit to just like go to a funeral and be like, man, that guy was crazy.
Yeah.
And I also like to think that they'd keep him in the Batman costume.
I thought this
in
was...
the coffin.
Yeah.
Because it's an open casket funeral and it's just Batman in his suit.
Laying down. We don't know if his eyes are closed because they're just white.
Yeah, Alfred's directing people to their seats like, oh, Riddler, go over here, please.
Yeah.
You know?
I like this a lot. It was short and it was just like neat. It was like unconventional Batman.
Yeah.
You know, which is always fun.
It's got that Neil Gaiman kind of flow.
Thought.
Yeah. Just sort of that.
But I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
You know.
And you don't really know.
And then it like wraps up at the end and you're like, oh, that was nice. I don't know what that meant, but that's nice.
I did actually think that. I'm like,
there's
that was
meaning
nice.
here, probably.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a celebration of Batman. I just like the way that they did it because it could have been a lot more boring, I think.
I need an English major to teach me what's happening.
Yeah, it's one of those because he's a for real writer.
Yeah.
And he's like, let me do a for real writer thing, but on a Batman book. This is apparently homaging, or it's kind of referencing the Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow book written by Alan Moore, because that came up before this, and I think that inspired this book.
So you're saying Neil Gaiman's a stealer?
He's a bit of a stealer.
Ooh.
No, he said that he wasn't trying to do what Alan did, but he just kind of wanted to celebrate kind of
the life
end
of Batman,
an era.
kind of
yeah,
thing?
and the life of Batman, I guess. So, but yeah, there's some cool things. They have some cool points about what Batman is and kind of his whole vibe, and like the stories that people are telling kind of inform different areas of Batman that I like, and so I like reading those little stories. Also, I was reading this book for the first time, or like for the first time ever. I brought my tablet to the gym and I was doing Stairmaster and I was reading comics. I don't recommend it. It's really hard.
Yeah.
But maybe if I was on like the little bike or whatever. But anyway, so let's get into it, Daniel. Whatever Happened to the Caped Crusader? Part 1 of 2. So we see Selina Kyle drive into a secret location. Joe Chill
in the Catmobile.
In the Catmobile.
We're talking about automobiles.
We'll get to that in a second. I thought that was the Batmobile, and I'm like, that's a weird looking bat on the front of the car.
Why does his back got whiskers?
And like a mouth and shit like that. But Joe Chill is the bartender for whatever building that they're at, and Alfred is directing people to their seats to attend the funeral of Batman. And attending this funeral is not only Batman's friends, but also his villains. So we see like Two-Face, the Joker, and like a bunch of other people show up. And what I want to know is, does everybody always have their own like gimmicky car? Because you mentioned Selina Kyle drove up in the Catmobile, which is basically the Batmobile with like a cat face instead of when he used to have like the bat face. Do you remember that? There's like versions of the Batmobile that looks kind of like this, but it said it was just like a bat face or like the bat head or something. It's in like the animated series, I think, as well. But like my favorite version of this is Two-Face is driving like a Two-Face car, and the
Two-Face mobile.
The Two-Face mobile, and like the fucked up part is just like a crashed car.
Yeah.
Like the windshield's cracked and shit. I just think that's really creative.
Yeah, no, it's super cool.
But I'm like, there's no way that that's like a for real thing. Like Joker has a Joker mobile and like Two-Face has a Two-Face mobile. You know, I just thought it was funny. Like, would Two-Face refuse to drive any other car unless it was like half fucked up?
Maybe.
It's just a silly comics idea. But Selina Kyle steps up to say a few words about Batman, and she's recalling her experience getting to know Batman through criminal behaviors, and then how Catwoman wanted the both of them to go straight and just live their life like not crime fighting or whatever, but Batman can't stop being Batman. And so Selina stops being a criminal anyway and opens up a pet store, and even got like other villains to stop crime by her own means. But one day Batman comes to Selina Kyle's shop with like a gunshot wound, and she's like, okay, let me help you. But she like doesn't help Batman and like lets him bleed out. And that's like how he dies.
Yeah.
And that's initially you're like, wow, what a weird way for Batman to die. But then there's other stories.
Couple things.
Yeah, a couple things. What is
the Joker mobile?
Oh, okay. The Joker mobile. Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a face. I don't know how he gets out of it.
It looks like a submarine.
It does. Yeah.
Or like, this looks like what a toy car would be if you're like 1 year old and you're just like pushing it back and forth.
Yeah. This is my favorite panel here. It's a grumpy Joker.
Dude, grumpy Joker.
It just looks like really cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
I do like it. Dude, Andy Kubert is so good.
He is really good.
Because he draws different eras of Batman. Because like each one of these stories kind of reflects a different Batman design.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And
what is this Catwoman design?
It's sick, right?
Is that real?
I don't think so.
Because I looked up Catwoman first appearance, and it's like
not that.
It's not that. But there is versions of Catwoman, I think, that are that. Because I found this picture. So like that's a real thing. It's like referencing something that was before.
It did look oddly familiar.
It was crazy enough for me to just immediately understand that it's referencing like Bronze Age comics or something like that.
It just kind of reminds me of the cat, the other cat, the fighting cat.
Wildcat.
Wildcat. Reminds me of Wildcat for some reason.
I can't believe you'd forget Wildcat's name.
Dude, you forgot one time.
I did.
I'm glad that you remember that you forgot.
I do remember that I forgot, and I was going to try and get away with it.
I was like, if you forgot that you forgot, then
yeah,
that just makes sense.
And I also like this idea of Selena Kyle like quitting crime and then like opening a pet shop.
Makes sense.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I was crazy in my youth, but now I'm just a little, cat store owner. And she like takes in stray cats and stuff. Like it's very on brand. So I like that shit a lot.
That's one of the best covers like ever.
Just that pose in general. It's so like fucking cool.
So Frank Miller. He's like, how do I make him giant?
Yeah,
but
let me
make him fit on this page.
Let me make him barely fit on the page.
I love when
that's good shit.
Other artists like homage that.
Yeah, any character looks
like
cool doing
the
it.
Hulk or the Thing. Yeah, it all works.
I've seen one where like Wolverine's doing it. His claws are out, so that looks pretty cool as well. Yeah. Anyway,
I think I saw one where it's like Squirrel Girl or something.
Whoa, that's awesome! Imagine they get Frank Miller to do that. How much money do you think he'd have to take? Because he wouldn't do it at like a normal rate. I don't think.
Like $500 maybe.
No, way more than that, dude.
Way more? I don't know.
Yeah, he would probably ask like 10 grand for like something like that.
No way.
100% he would.
How much do you think cover work pays?
Dude, cover work's like more than a page rate for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. But I don't know how much people pay.
Yeah, because there's people that feels like they just do covers, I'm like, how do you survive? But
no, it's more than like regular. Yeah. Like Alex Ross is doing fine for himself, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, Daniel, now it's Alfred's turn to start talking about Batman, his experience with Batman. And he starts the story with how he quit his acting job to take over his dad's job as butler to the Wayne family, because his dad was the butler initially, but he died of cancer, I think. And so he would be there for when Bruce, loses his parents and they were moited. And Alfred would then, watch Bruce Wayne become Batman. He's telling everybody this, all the villains and stuff, by the way, which it's probably not a good idea. Yeah, I don't think everybody knows about Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Right, yeah.
So it's just interesting, but it's not like real or whatever.
Yeah, you do now.
And so then it talks about how Alfred would see him become obsessed with being Batman, and he would orchestrate a bunch of villains in Batman's rogue gallery,
like including his actor buddies.
Yeah, his actor buddies would be like the Riddler or whatever, and including Alfred himself, who would put white grease paint on and become the Joker. And so Bruce eventually finds this out, and when he tries to get the man hired to be the Riddler to stop, cut the act, like he figured it out, Batman's shot in the face and killed by the Riddler. And that's how that happened. I don't think this is the only story. Like, I've definitely heard of the idea of Alfred being like the Joker, or like Alfred orchestrating all these villains. But I don't think it's from this book.
Probably not.
I don't think this was the originator of that.
It's probably
concept,
more fleshed out, yeah.
But it could have been. So
this is fucking sick.
It is cool. I like seeing Alfred origin where it's not just him like being in the military or whatever he was in. I like the fact that he was an actor,
Yeah.
And like a traveling theater.
Yeah, I never heard that.
That's very fun and whimsical, and it kind of informs in him being the Joker in this story, because he's like, this is my best role kind of deal.
Yeah, I think his dad's name was Jarvis.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because the butler in Avengers is Jarvis.
Dude, is the Avengers biting Batman shit? Who bit whose shit?
Dude, was Alfred's dad the butler for the Avengers?
I'm going to look up. Whoa. He just hops universes.
But I'm
looking at Jarvis' first appearance.
in Night of the Owls, like the arc after Court of Owls, there's a lot of like back pages stuff of like Jarvis stuff. And it's kind of like,
is he
pointing that even way back in the day when Jarvis was the butler, that there were signs of like the the Court of Owls and
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
And it's so fucking good. That was like the first time I thought like that James Tynion was like a good writer. Cause like that was just because he did the backup pages.
Oh, I
Or
see.
I think he helped with Night of Owls or whatever.
Okay. Because
And that was just the first thing I read that I was like, oh man, this guy's awesome.
that's cool. You want to know something depressing? I looked up Jarvis' first appearance and it came up with Iron Man 2008, the movie, which I don't know who.
Why would they possibly think we meant movies?
Yeah, who's looking up the first appearance of a movie? You know? Okay, Tales of Suspense, 59, in the year 1964.
That's Marvel.
Yeah, that's Marvel. So 1954, remember that?
54.
I legit typed Jarvis Pennyworth first appearance and came up with Iron Man 2008. First appearing in Batman number 16.
Oh, dude, that's like 40.
2012?
Oh, maybe that's the
First appearing in Batman number 16, however, in the Prime Earth continuity, Jarvis first appears as part of the new 52 DC universe. Yeah, so he's like a relatively newer Jarvis. So DC's biting Marvel shit.
Whoa.
So I could probably get this first appearance of Jarvis pretty cheap.
I probably have it, dude.
Nobody knows.
If I look, I probably have it. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is fun. A funny page is when Alfred pitches the idea of hiring his friend to be a villain, and he's like, I was thinking like some villain that like talks in like riddles or whatever, and then this guy like has a riddle fired up and like ready to throw out.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like, oh, I got a riddle for you, and he just like has one on the ready. So I'm like, why does this guy just have riddles in his back pocket, you know?
Yeah, and then the dude's like, I'm thinking Riddle Master. And like, how about the Riddler?
Yeah, we'll work on that. Daniel, a plane rises to turn, a river runs between. What am I?
What?
A plane rises to turn, a river runs between. What am I?
A question mark.
A bank. That was the riddle that he had ready. Like a
Plane rises, turn, a river runs.
like a river bank. I know, but I don't know about the plane one. Anyway, and then so we see, yeah, that's the Alfred story, and then we see Batman's like spirit kind of like attending his funeral. And then there's like suddenly like a woman spirit that shows up and is like talking to him. And we're like, oh, who's that? And that's how the issue ends.
Like throughout this, there's like captions of like Batman and then some other person.
Somebody else talking to
and
him.
he's like, what are they talking about? Why am I here?
Yeah.
You know?
And he's like, that's not how that happened. Or
Yeah.
whatever. So, but yeah, issue 2. Batman's spirit continues to listen to everyone's stories about Batman and how he dies. Real quick, this is just my favorite page, but it's like different people walking up to talk about Batman, and the Batman in the coffin, like his suit changes each time.
Ooh.
And I really like that concept, but I mainly just really like this middle Batman one where he's got like the super weird long ears.
Yeah.
I think the more I read Batman comics, the more I just love the long ears.
I feel that.
Because I used to be a hater of long ears, but the more I read it, the more aesthetically I'm like, only a fucking crazy person would wear this one with like long ears, and you have to be fucking crazy to be Batman. I think.
What's that from? That one primarily,
dude? It's like
Legends of the Dark Knight or something like that.
Oh, I don't know. I think the artist was Norm Brayfogle though.
I always figured it was like a Sienkiewicz kind of thing.
Yeah, Sienkiewicz does probably one of those, or like Kelly Jones is like a big Batman artist. He did one of the Batman books that Parker made me read, and I never gave it back to him. But yeah, I think there's just something so cool about that personality of Batman, where he's so like gritty, I guess. And he's got like even like his cape, like where the shoulders are, like those are spikes that like kind of go up like that.
Yeah.
So it's very 90s, but I just like it more and more.
We should do like a Batman month.
Sure.
Where we do like he has different like lengths of ears.
Short ear Batman.
Yeah, long ear Batman.
And then we end at Sienkiewicz Batman, or whichever one where it's like incredibly long, like absolutely not.
And
how
then
it's
we
supposed to
vote
be.
which is best.
That's such a good idea. Batman Years Month.
Yeah.
So anyway, so each one of these stories kind of informs different eras of Batman and his like selflessness. And Batman understands that these deaths are actually like near-death experiences that he's had, and is now crossing the threshold to death as he's like listening to these people tell their stories. But he's like in this astral plane space. But in this, we find out that woman ghost or whatever is Martha Wayne. So he's meeting his mom. Couple cool things here. I like that Superman is like there, and he tells a story about like the hope in Batman. I think that's kind of cool. And it makes sense because this is based off of the Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow book. So it makes sense that he makes an appearance in this. I just think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, he mentioned something that Batman said that I wrote down. I thought was really cool. And he was talking about how all the villains like made like a treaty to, you know, like kill Batman or whatever. Yeah. And he said like, and while they're trying to kill me, they aren't killing innocents. You know, so it's like that's like kind of why he fights in a way,
because he's focusing their hate or whatever on Batman him. Rather than innocent people.
Like, wow.
One of the ones that I really liked is like Clayface gets up there and tells his story, which is kind of like a silly idea in general that like this monstrous big mud man or whatever is just telling like a eulogy.
Yeah,
but there's a part where Clayface tells about Batman saving him, and Clayface is like, I'm not worth it, just like leave me behind. And then Batman says everyone's worth it, and I thought that was nice because like the way that Clayface's face, as mangled and shit that it is, like you could tell that there's a lot of emotion in like what he's saying in there. So
yeah, he's
I think they've done that pretty well. Goopy. He's extra goopy when he's saying that. So
he's extra goopy when he's sad.
Yeah. So pretty cool. So Martha Wayne takes Bruce on this like journey of his life as like a child and through like adulthood pretty much. And then through his journey as Batman, where he would like never really give up and on like trying to avenge his parents and make sure that nobody else has to go through what he went through, which is kind of like fueling his inspiration to be Batman. And then Martha finally gets Batman to understand that his death is the inevitable end. Like he's not going to retire from being Batman. And so this is like the only logical end.
He's always going to be Batman.
Yeah. There's a line he says where he's like, I'm not just going to like retire and start playing golf. So it's like, this is how he goes, just being Batman. But his reward for being Batman was having been Batman in general. And so Martha has Bruce like say goodnight to everybody in like the form of like this like picture book thing that I like. He's a child and he's like saying goodnight to everybody, like the Batcave and Gotham and all that stuff.
It's a book called Goodnight Moon.
Yeah.
And so he's like saying shit like that.
Mm-hmm. And so he's saying goodbye to everybody in like this sort of bedtime story type thing. And then after doing that, he is reborn as like a baby in Martha's arms, who's like just naming him Bruce for the first time. So he gets reborn at the end.
And that connects to the continuity, man. How there's always reboots and stuff.
Oh, and true.
Batman just keeps going.
This is New 52 Batman.
Yeah, probably.
Let's talk about this page. And you know what page I'm talking about. Where he gets reborn.
Oh.
It's kind of creepy. But like the Batman logo is like the normal Batman logo, and then it turns into hands that are like delivering Bruce Wayne as a baby.
Yeah.
And it's like cool and like mystical, but at the same time a little scary.
So Batman was never like really a thing. It's just the dream that babies have when they're in the womb, bro.
Yeah. Some crazy ass stories or some crazy ass dreams.
A cool page.
Very cool page.
I'm going to talk about a cool page.
What is a cool page?
It's page 54, where it's like all these different points in Batman history.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and one of them is like Arkham Asylum. You know, the Arkham Asylum Joker on the side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see that
I do.
Nightmarish face.
That is.
And then like Nightfall and stuff, and then Man-Bat.
Yeah, these last couple pages, like Andy Kubert goes fucking nuts because it's like a bunch of double page like spreads and like splash pages. Most of them are like silhouettes of Batman in some way with like a bunch of like rich Batman history kind of put in there.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. There's one where like Batman's fighting a robot. Don't really know what that's about or who that is. But I actually missed that Arkham Asylum one, so I'm glad you pointed that out because I just skipped right over that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I was just looking at Nightfall and I'm like, yeah,
you gotta pay attention, dude.
Yeah, that's a big one. So yeah, tons of like really strong pages, I would say. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's kind of a trippy ending with some insane pages at the end there, but he's just kind of like reborn and nothing really changes really. Like the next issue of Batman is probably just like something else starting up and he's like fighting the Joker.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool that they were open to like Neil Gaiman coming in and doing like a quick 2-issue thing.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the trade. There's some backup comics, but I think I just saved that for Back Matter Matter.
Yep.
So let's do it. Back Matter Matters.
Back Matter Matters. And we get a Alex Ross variant, Nathan.
Yup, of Alfred being sad.
Love
that.
He's holding the bat suit.
The cowl.
Pretty good one. I've seen this before. Have you seen it before?
I don't think so.
Really? Yeah, it's a good one.
Very moody. We get a Andy Kubert cover. We also get like a sketchbook with different like Batman versions that Andy Kubert was practicing to draw. So we see a bunch of different versions there. And we see some Andy Kubert pages, both in the like rough layouts to the fully rendered pencils. And some of these pencils are gorgeous.
Yeah, those fuck.
Yeah, they're so like fleshed out. And so it's like really cool to see like the ideas go from roughs to pencils, because he puts in a lot of shading.
The blinds shadow that's like on her.
So good.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
I could read a whole book of just blind shadows.
People talking in blinds.
Yeah. It's basically just Sin City, but like still.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty fucking sick.
Yeah. Some of the different designs. Apparently Batmite was going to be in this in some capacity, which I think would have thrown the vibe off a little bit. So I'm glad that they didn't put him in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, different versions like Joker they were kind of playing around with. They show the page of like Bruce looking at the children's book, but with like the cast of characters in there and he's saying goodbye. That's a trippy page. So some cool stuff.
Yeah, this would be like super sweet like pencils to have like a page of.
Yeah, 100%.
Because like they're like fully fleshed out and you know what you're looking at and you don't like need the inks to really see it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. There's even like a page where it has the 3-step approach he does, where he does like the rough pencils and then he does like a linear breakdown where it's like pretty much the pencil's completed without the shading and then he does shading after it. And there's like a really big difference between like those linear pencil pages and like when he adds the mooding with like the shadows.
Yeah.
So I don't know, dude's a master.
Before he adds like the shadows, it looks very like Mike Allred.
Dude, I was about to say that. Yeah, like when people are just like looking sad, it's like so Mike Allred.
Yeah.
So
maybe Andy Kubert is just Mike Allred.
Dude. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, Mike Allred is just a front.
Mike Allred could be Andy Kubert if he just shaded a little bit more his pencils. So pretty cool. I mean, a good amount of back matter for what was only 2 issues of comics.
Yeah,
so
it's like 60 or 58 pages of back matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Might be our biggest back matter, Nathan.
The biggest back matter ratio, for sure.
Is there a bigger back matter that you're thinking of?
Well,
biggest back matter.
I think our biggest back matter was Arkham Asylum because it had like full script.
Well, I'm talking about like this year for like the award.
Oh, this year. Probably this one, yeah. So then there was a part of this collection, this deluxe collection is there's like 3 pretty random comics. I don't know if they're written by Neil Gaiman. I assume they are.
I don't think so.
They're just like, how did they select these ones? Because they're like pretty random.
Yeah, I don't know. They might have said at the beginning.
Well, there's like the deluxe collects Batman 686.
So hold on. Other Tales of the Dark Knight written by Neil Gaiman. Okay. So The Black and White World by artists by Simon Beasley and letter John Costanza.
Oh, okay. It does say the artist.
Pavane is Mark Buckingham on art. Colors by Nancy Houlihan.
Mm-hmm.
Original Sin, Mike Hoffman. Kevin Nolan. Colors Tom McGraw.
Oh, Kevin Nolan. Okay.
And When Is a Door is Bernie Meyeralt and inker Matt Wagner. Colors Joe Matt. So.
Oh, I combined those last 2 ones. I was like, this is a weird comic.
They are like a combined thing, but there is like a section in between where it's different art.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this first one,
A Black and White World.
A Black and White World. I loved this.
This is super cool.
This is one of the best, but since it's not, I'm not going to do like a full breakdown of it, but just essentially it's Batman and Joker going to do an audition to read lines for the roles of Batman and Joker, but for not a movie, for a comic. So the idea is like Batman and Joker are like practicing their lines for like this action scene in a comic book. And so like these characters are like trying to take this gig like really seriously and play out the scene before actually doing the scene, which when they do the scene, it's just the comic itself. It's like it just becomes a comic regularly. And then at the end, they're like, man, I wish I got more action scenes or whatever. Like they're just like actors trying to make it big in like Hollywood, but like the comics world.
Yeah.
And it's really funny to think that the comics reread are actually just like productions with like actors performing whatever thing.
Yeah.
And like struggling to find good work. So not only is that idea insane, but this art is also insane in like the best way.
It's super fun.
Because like it's like a, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like chaotic, like grittiness or something. You know, like I've definitely seen like this style of comics before. It feels kind of like Sam Keith in a way. I don't really know like how to describe it, where it's got like this demented sort of feel maybe, but I fuck with it a lot.
I love how this dude draws the Joker.
Dude, he is the most crazed looking motherfucker.
It kind of reminds me of like The Mask too.
Yeah, it definitely has like a The Mask feel.
But yeah, that one was
with
pretty
how
neat.
like unhinged it feels. So I just think that the concept for it is cool. It's a black and white comic as well, and they pull that off pretty well, I would say.
Yeah, it almost felt like something that would be in like a DC comic zine or something, you know?
Yeah.
Just because like black and white and whatnot, and just like a couple pages.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, just the concept for it, very fun. So I like this. I don't know if you had anything else to say about it, but the next one is Pavane, and it kind of shows the story of some FBI dude that's trying to figure out Poison Ivy, who's locked up.
So he's like he works for like Bell Rev.
Yeah.
And he's like scouting for like the Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. But he kind of ends up getting manipulated by her like botany powers, and she gets him to like gradually fall in love with her, and throughout the course of them like interacting and him like trying to scout to see if she'll like join Task Force X, she takes control over him and then like helps her break out of prison pretty much.
But like it like doesn't work.
Yes.
But that was like she got close.
Though.
She got like outside.
Yeah, she's pretty close. I like this idea. It kind of feels like a Silence of the Lambs almost.
Sure.
Where it's like Clarice is like talking to some like the killer dude. What's his name?
What, like
the serial killer in Silence of the Lambs? I'm spacing on his name. I don't know why.
Hold on.
I don't know why I remember Clarice. But
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter. Yeah. It kind of feels like that, but like in the context of like a Batman book. So it's
yeah,
cool.
and it's got that like 80s look. This might have came out in the 80s, but I don't know. But it definitely looks like Swamp Thing. You know?
It's got like mostly like a 9-panel grid structure, you know, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, pretty fun. And then there's Original Sin, which is some people that are making like a Gotham documentary where they're trying to like book villains to talk about their relationship with Batman. And so they're just like actively reaching out to villains.
I honestly tapped out this one.
I kind of did too, because it goes straight into like When Is a Door, which is like a Riddler based one.
That was cool. I read up to that point and then just looked at the art.
Yeah, the art for it's pretty cool.
This is very like kind of
yeah, I don't know,
Mad Magazine-esque kind of artwork, very like quirky and pop arty.
Yeah, the style kind of changes a lot.
A lot of flats, not a lot of shading and whatnot, and so it's just like fun stuff of the
some wacky Riddler stuff, which you know you don't really see a whole lot of. I feel like he's all in sort of gritty Riddler guy, or like maybe a little bit too much, but this one kind of seems like it strikes a good balance.
Yeah, with like kind of an ideal Riddler costume, I think. I'm not big on like the question mark
question marks all over. I don't know.
Just on the bowler hat, I think is a real slick look.
But like purple mask too.
Yeah.
I like that. So good stuff. So a little Riddler backup story in there, which is cool. It does bounce because like at the end, one of the reporters gets like hit with like the Joker toxin thing, and he like gets like the smile in there, and that's pretty creepy. But anyway,
right.
Some pretty good back matter there with some backup comics. So
yeah, it's interesting because I wonder what the rest of those issues were like. Were they just like more, you know, little stories or something? Or
it seems like it.
It seems like these are kind of like taken from other issues.
Yeah.
And so
it's
maybe some issues were like,
well, the first one's Batman 686. The second one was Detective Comics 853. And then the Batman Black and White, that was from Batman Black and White number 2. The second one was Secret Origins 36. And then the next one was Secret Origins Special. So for the most part, one-off sort of stories.
Nice.
That I guess Neil Gaiman did. So
cool.
Good stuff.
That's good that It wasn't just like random shit that they're doing there. It was like other gaming stuff.
Yeah. So what would you rate this book, Daniel?
I would rate it like a ice cream cone with like a waffle cone.
Okay.
And you're at like a new ice cream place that's in like a town that you've never been to before. Just some random mom and pop kind of shop, and you try a flavor of ice cream they've never tried before, but you like it, and you're like, what the fuck?
Okay.
You know, I don't know what flavor, but
I don't think I liked this.
okay. Overall, there's like good stuff in it though.
There's good stuff in it for sure. There's like little pieces of it that I like, but I think when I think of an Andy Kubert Batman book, and maybe I'm just not intellectual enough or whatever, but I want him like punching people and shit, you know?
There's some punching.
There's some punching in
like
there.
There's
for
like
sure.
action, and it's just flashbacks to what
There's good
happened.
ideas. I get what they were going for.
Yeah.
And I think they nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not necessarily too big of a fan of the concept, I guess. So I guess like maybe like an ice cream that I don't really like too much, but there's like chocolate chips in there. So I can be like, ooh, that was nice.
Okay.
So I don't know. It'd maybe be like a
vanilla with chocolate chips.
No, because I like vanilla. But it would be like a toffee ice cream or something, and it has chocolate chips in there. And I like
sounds
chocolate.
awesome.
I don't know. I'm not a big toffee person, I guess. But
love toffee.
And so if I'm eating toffee, I'm like, okay, I get why people like this, but I don't. And then when I get a chocolate chip, I'm like, ooh, that was nice.
There's a new. You're probably not as fat as I am, but the Dairy Queen dropped their fall collection. Their fall shit that's coming out, and there's going to be a Blizzard that is salted caramel truffle, or no, salted caramel toffee.
Oh, okay.
And I can't wait to get it. It looks like it smacks.
The Dairy Queen drops.
Yeah, there's like TikTok accounts. It's like
your algorithm knows you.
Watch out! You want a sweet treat? Here it comes.
That's crazy.
You got this to look forward to. And I'm like, let's go.
You're like midnight premiere.
Yeah, I know.
Let me get the toffee.
I tried looking up the date, like when it comes out, because I want it really bad.
Like a trailer, like it's a movie.
Yeah, dude.
That's funny.
Yeah, you form a line out.
No, dude. If I'm getting ice cream, it's because Sophie's making me, and then I'll just get like whatever is a chocolate one.
When you're married, it's like, if they want a sweet treat, you want a sweet treat. You know, you can't like deny them, because if you're like, no, I'm trying to like, cut out sugar or whatever.
I did that for the first time.
Then they get mad at you
pretty recently,
because you don't also want a sweet treat. You know, and they're not just gonna get one by themselves.
Yeah,
you have to condone it and and join them.
I did do that recently, where she's like, we should get ice cream, and I said no.
Did it go well?
Not really.
Exactly.
She wasn't like angry and like screaming at me or anything. She doesn't ever do that. But she was like, oh, okay. And then I felt really bad about it. And then I almost was like, okay, let's go get ice cream. But then it's like, it's too late. Like, I can't just be like, okay, no, I want ice cream. You know?
Every idea she has is a good idea. It's
yeah, it is. What's not a good idea is though, she just bought Dr. Pepper ice cream.
Ew, dude.
It does not taste like Dr. Pepper at all.
Do you like it?
I like had a bite. It tastes like vanilla, and it's like they put Dr. Pepper around it. You know how like LaCroix, there's the memes where it's like, okay, it's sparkling water, and they like made it next to an orange peel. So it's like, that's what this ice cream is. It's like
with like a mist.
With a mist of Dr. Pepper. Like I don't taste the 23 different spices of the Dr. Pepper or whatever is supposed to be in there.
You want spicy ice cream.
Yeah, I want spicy Dr. Pepper ice cream if I'm gonna have that.
Right.
Anyway, let's get into the poll list.
Shove in your box. The poll list. What did you shove in your box?
All right, I did not get the chance to go, so I don't even know what's coming out.
Are you gonna get TMNT number 1?
Oh, dude, I hope it's not sold out.
It's probably sold out.
Hopefully they bought enough because they knew it was gonna be a banger. But if it's sold out, I'm gonna be angry.
There's also Spawn Kills Every Spawn number 1 by John Layman.
By John Layman, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pick that up.
That'll come out.
The friend of the show.
Yeah,
John
Batman
Layman.
Dark Age by Mike Allred and Mark Russell.
Oh yeah, is that the last one of that?
Number 4. Those are normally like 4 issues, right? Because they're really big.
I think the Superman one was only 3. So I thought that was wrapped already.
Okay, so
but maybe it's going for longer. I don't know.
Maybe they're like shorter.
I just read the first 2 of those. So
yeah, I didn't write down whatever I thought you were gonna get. So
I'll figure it out later. But hopefully I can get all of those.
Oh, dude, I found an app that's better than Fresh Comics.
Oh my God. Thank the Lord.
I hope it's on
the Android platform.
Yeah. So it's called Comic Geeks.
That sounds perfect.
It's from the website League of Comic Geeks.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Which is an elite website that I use all the time for like pictures of like covers and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And
League of Comic Geeks is an app?
Yeah, it's like a short box picture.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that
Shout out
one's...
to those guys.
Oh, they're fucking the best.
They are the backbone of the comics industry.
Yeah, dude, I love them.
I just downloaded it right now. Everybody else should as well. Yep, new comics this week. Okay, what do we got? Something Is Killing the Children is still coming out. That's surprising to me. Deadpool Wolverine World War III I will pick up.
What is that? Number 4?
It's number 3.
Number 3.
World War III number 3.
I think that's the last one
Dude,
of that.
Zatanna number 2 is coming out.
Ooh.
That book fucking rules. Some absolute power stuff. No thank you.
They'll show you like everything that's coming out. They'll even show like manga that's coming out.
Yeah,
like
I
in
know.
like the
I'm scrolling through
the magazines that come out that we can't even get. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Scrolling through Berserker, A Face Full of Bullets. I believe that's the Jason Aaron one.
Yeah.
Might give that a shot. That seems to be... Oh, Godzilla Skater Die number 2.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get that. And we'll go with that for right now. Are you gonna get Winnie the Pooh Demon Hunter number 1?
Got it already.
Already read it.
Bought 2. Did you read anything since this is a bit of a shorter?
This was a shorter one. I've been very busy, so I've not read anything new.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
I read a Junji Ito book called
Ooh.
Shiver. And I found out that all of his books are like anthologies. So I like this one a lot, and I think this will be our horror book for Arena.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a horror manga, and there's about like 8 stories in it.
So, okay. Anthology meaning like just 8 different stories.
8 different horror stories. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's very good. I like
that.
it a lot. It's there's some freaky shit, so I'm excited to read that.
Any jump scares? Turn the page.
There is
Jesus.
like a jump scare. I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh.
You know, there's never like kind of thing, but like there's, because I kind of look for that to see if they can pull it off.
Yeah,
But
it's very hard.
this one was like a jump scare that was like on the same page, like at the bottom of a page, but it still like worked.
What do you think is harder in comics? Good horror or good comedy?
I think good horror, because that's like not only like the writing but like the artwork.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and I feel like with good comedy, it just has to be like kind of set up correctly.
Yeah, true.
And it's mostly just in
And it could be
what
like
you're writing.
kind of silly too, depending on like the context. If it's like something just a little bit silly, it'll get a little chuckle out of me. you know?
Yeah. But I think with comics, you kind of have to go for just like the creepy vibe.
Yeah.
And so that can be kind of hard to pull off, you know, and
I agree.
also just try and pull off something like new, you know.
Nice. So you read all 8 stories?
No, I read like the first 3.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna like I'm gonna keep reading it. I'm pretty sure we're gonna do that anyway, but I just don't want to read through it. Just kind of
Make sure it doesn't lose steam.
solidify my my opinion on it.
So all of his work, like Uzumaki over there, that's also an anthology?
Yeah, I don't think Uzumaki's like all continuous stuff. It's
Okay.
all around like the Uzumaki specifically. That's like kind of all around like the same concept, but just done in with different people.
That's cool.
You know, so that's what that is. But Shiver, it's like all completely different stuff.
Nice.
Which is neat.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
When we read that and I'm reading it in bed and Sophia's sleeping, when there's a jump scare, I'm going to just actually scream really loud and be like, oh, sorry, I got scared.
This is really scary.
And then see what she does.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I read a book called Stray Dogs, Nathan.
Ooh.
By Tony Fleeks.
Yeah. Of local man fame.
Yeah. I think he was more
He's more a fame of stray dogs for sure. Yeah.
But this book is not for us. And
Who says?
we made just our rules.
Oh no, it's a bad book.
It's a bad book.
Based off our rules of dog dying.
I won't like spoil anything, but like be warned, you know?
Wow.
Like it's like good and it's like interesting, like conceptually and execution wise.
Yeah.
And there's like incredible art. Like it looks like all the dogs are from like some like what's the noodle dogs from like the
Dachshund?
the Disney movies?
Dalmatian?
It's like the
Noodle dog?
yeah, you know they slipped noodles and they kissed.
I don't know, like a mutt?
No, it's like a movie, dude.
Oh, Lady and the Tramp?
Lady and the Tramp.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were trying to get the breed of that dog.
No.
Yeah,
no.
Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, no. Like the artwork looks like that. Like and it's like it looks like you're reading like a Disney comic.
That's kind of cool.
Right. Yeah, it is, and it's like a horror-esque comic. Like they have like horror variants that are, you know, plays on famous horror movie like posters.
Dude, I love those.
Yeah, no, they're really sick. I was reading it because I'm like, oh, maybe nothing bad will happen, you know, and it could be like a good book for like a normie that likes dogs, you know.
That's such a funny. I'm gonna read this and hope nothing bad happens.
Yeah, and then I read it, I'm like, oh no. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's just that one thing.
And it keeps happening.
And it just keeps going. And it gets worse. But
That's funny.
Anyway, I read it and it's like good stuff. And they have this other one called Feral. And it's about cats that turn into like zombies or something.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Is that also by Tony Fleeks?
also by Tony Fleeks.
And he's just been a
Really
animal
cashing
guy.
on the pet game right
Yeah,
now.
I guess so.
Apparently he got like his start, or not like his start, but he like did like a lot of work with like My Little Pony comics.
I could believe that.
Yeah, and so he
I
did
think
like
those are pretty big.
he
so.
did like 30 issues of those.
Whoa.
And like a shit ton of covers.
Should we do a My Little Pony book?
I'm super. Do you know what I found?
What?
Transformers versus My Little Pony.
Oh my god, that's what we're reading next week,
For crossover month, Nathan.
dude. Oh my god, crossover month. Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, I'm like, what a great idea.
There's like a whole subculture of My Little Ponies that are like horror themed. I found out.
Like the
From-
ones you see at like Comic-Con and stuff.
Kind of, but there's like lore there, I
Uh.
guess, that's supposed to be like pretty good and kind of dark.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
Like horror month, they're like My Little Pony,
Yeah.
My Little Pony zombies.
Yeah. So,
So yeah.
good stuff.
Did you watch anything?
I watched The Boys, finished that,
Ooh,
and really good.
good.
I would say.
Last episode.
Yeah, super good. Last episode. Things are getting crazy for sure. So, like, there's a lot that happens. And I think what I liked about this ending is you can create your own little theories on like why some things are happening, you know? And I think that's cool. Like Butcher, spoilers by the way, but like Butcher's like symbiote powers that come out of his chest.
Yeah, he just turns into Venom.
Yeah, he just
Like
has like
mo-
these,
like movie Venom.
these venom tendrils that come out.
Mhm.
I think his tumor got like Compound V and is its own like little parasite thing.
Mhm.
And when Butcher isn't like succumbing to that parasite, he gets sick. But then when he's like ready to go scorched earth, he's just like healthy. Because when he was ripping Victoria Newman apart, he looked great.
He's still like sweaty.
He still is like a little bit
still looks
sweaty.
sick. He
but
looked like he had a fever.
He didn't have like the dark circles under his eyes and shit, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what's going on there.
I think it's like a metaphor for like alcoholism. You know,
Whoa.
how you like feel better when you like have more.
When you just he just had another one.
It's like his medicine. You know.
Yeah. So that was cool. I think one of my favorite parts just about this season was the shapeshifter girl.
Yeah.
I just like how her powers worked and how she just like rip off her skin to like turn into that person and like actually shed skin. I thought that was cool.
Dude, fucking Starlight like gaslighting Huey for
Yeah,
like
what the fuck is that?
for being like a rape victim basically.
Yeah, that
And she's
was-
like, how did you not know it wasn't me? You kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it had your memories first off.
Yeah.
I like when he was like proposing, I was like, oh no, this is so bad. What if he doesn't just ring back?
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff there.
I like how we see like dicks like all the time in this, and there wasn't one full frontal like Starlight moment.
Oh yeah, we saw some cheeks.
Fucked.
That's about it. So like at the end, what I think is weird about this is that they kind of introduced like the Gen V characters, but they're in I think literally 2 scenes this whole season.
Yeah.
So they're obviously going to play probably a bigger part next season and in Gen V season 2.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting that they chose now to introduce him.
Dude, when Kimiko is like
Dude, when she talks,
I
was like, oh my
but only when
God.
she's like screaming like no because Frenchie
I like
was
didn't
being
get what was
mind
happening
controlled.
at first.
Yeah.
She was like starting to scream no, and I'm like, who's saying that? And it was Kamiko.
Yeah, I was
she used her words.
Yeah.
And Frenchie doesn't even know.
I know.
Dude, Frenchie had good hair this season. Did you notice that?
I saw like he had like
the fade or whatever.
It was like a fade, and they had
it wasn't like his normal buzz cut.
He had like
the
cuts and like his not like the cuts, but like the lines in his beard and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like Frenchie always looks like different in like every trade. It seems like, and so like I think he was like trying to do that with like every season as well.
Yeah,
so
like Frenchie in the comics looks different. Yeah. I thought you called a season a trade.
No.
Have you seen that actor like just talk normally? The Frenchie actor?
Oh, Frenchie? Yeah.
He's so American.
Yeah, I don't know where he's from.
It's so off-putting because he does such a
spot on
French accent. Probably a little exaggerated, but like I've only ever heard him speaking that. So when I saw just like a random interview, I'm like, ew.
Like no one in France like looks like him.
Call me Mon Cœur,
Yeah.
What else is cool?
And then they smooch.
Yeah, they smooch, dude.
Dude, that was such a good smooch.
It was such a good smooch. She's on her tippy toes. I'm like, this is so cute.
Last season, I'm like, no, don't smooch. We don't want it.
Yeah.
And then this one, I'm like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, worked
I like
really
when she's telling Starlight and she just texts those like emojis.
The French,
like French flag and then like the hearts. She's like, no way.
And then like the kissy face.
Yeah. And Starlight knows what's like, going on. That was funny. Starlight had like the superpower dysfunction going on this whole season, but then at the end she can fly away. That's pretty cool.
I like how they brought back like the soup from like the asylum like a couple seasons ago, like season 2 I think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where the fuck has she been? And then she's just back. I'm like, oh, there she is.
I thought about her randomly.
Yeah,
like,
same.
Either this season or like part of last season. I'm like, what happened to her? And now she's back, which is cool.
Good stuff.
I can't wait for an A-Train like redemption thing. Like he's probably going to help get the boys back together or whatever.
Yeah, so but I think that'll be cool. Split, I think. So
he like left, but he's going to come back. Mm-hmm. He's not just gone for forever.
Yeah, no, he's like one of the best characters.
Yeah, he's on a great redemption arc.
I always think of like when he's like drinking like a milkshake because he has to like drink so many calories.
Yummers.
Yeah. That's such a funny scene. And like how he like has like a little bit of a gut or whatever.
He just pokes him so hard, dude. Oh man. Yeah.
I'm like he needs to eat like 50,000 calories like a day.
Yeah. But then he like wasn't running, so he just wasn't burning it off.
Right.
I think one of the characters that's not necessarily written well but acted well is the Deep, for sure.
Yeah, no, like
Chase Crawford, I think, is the actor.
He's like what sells that whole character.
100%. When there's that scene where they're making fun of the I take responsibility like stuff from this like last episode, and it goes to the Deep, and he's like, I take responsibility for racism. And it was like making fun of when all those celebrities were doing that during like I think the BLM stuff.
Yeah,
hilarious. I like actually laughed out loud when because he was like so serious about it. Yeah. Just like his demeanor delivering every single line is so funny.
He's like probably one of like the better actors in this, just because he has like an outrageous character.
He's got like just unbelievable like comedic timing,
because like the Deep is like nothing like in the comic, you know, and so like it's just kind of
he's like nothing this season as well.
Yeah,
like they were cooking with him like season 2 or whatever when he was out of the 7 and he's like going through his weird religious thing, but now he's just the Deep again, so I don't really know what that's about.
I like when Sister Sage gets like fired or whatever, and then like Black Noir's like, where are you going? And then like the Deep's like, you having lobotomy sex with her too? He's like, lobotomy. So like she had to have a lobotomy in order to have sex with the Deep.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny.
That is funny to me.
Dude, his arms are incredible.
Dude, every season
I'm
he's
like, so fucking shit. Shredded, and they're so big.
I always bring it. I know Sophie's thinking about it, but I always bring it up. I'm like, dude, look at those fucking triceps. She's like, I know.
Yeah, I'm like, they're huge. And like his like
unreal.
The definition between the bicep and the tricep is what I strive for.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Like when I think of like goal arms, I think of like Thor, and then I think of like the Deep.
Yeah.
You know? The Deep's probably more
like lean and achievable, I guess.
Yeah, but it's crazy how shredded he is, and then also having like that size, you know?
I think when he works out to play the Deep.
Yeah.
I think it's just
I'm sure he has a pump the entire
100%.
time, but
he's got dumbbells on set.
Yeah.
He killed his octopus. that was played by Tilda Swinton.
Yeah. that was such a funny like casting.
Yeah, that casting, yeah, very funny. The scene where the octopus died went a little bit too long.
Yeah.
But funny idea in general. But yeah, good season overall. I still really like the show. A lot of people were kind of hating on this season not being as strong as the others, but I still think they're very close.
Yeah,
like all the seasons overall.
Yeah, I think 1 and 2 were like definitely kind of like the stronger seasons, but you've rewatched them more recently. I think it's just because the first
season
ones it's just like it's
best.
new.
Yeah.
And you're just like learning about this world, and because of how shocking it is, it's like it just adds to it, I think. But
that's interesting.
by this point you're kind of used to what goes on.
You can't really be super you're kind of prepared to be grossed out at some points, and when that's going to happen.
Yeah.
It feels like it doesn't just like happen as randomly now because you're kind of used to it. But I think like season 1 is the best, and then season 3 and then season 2, and then probably I think 2 and 4 is probably
season 5 is going to be like a really good season though.
Because they're going to be ending it all. There's going to be the people just die randomly probably because they don't have to write them in next season. So I'm really excited for that. But will be 2026, I guess. So, but good stuff. What else did you watch?
I watched the first episode of Kite Man. Hell yeah!
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like Lex Luthor has the anti-life equation.
Whoa!
in like a suitcase, and I'm like
suitcase,
and I'm like, what the fuck?
He could just take that on a flight.
Yeah, this just got like insanely huge for like Kite Man.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I think there's 2 episodes out. I don't know if they had like a 2-episode premiere or whatever. But I don't remember the actor's name.
Do you see what the anti-life equation looks like?
No.
Okay, all right.
Hold on one sec. Like the dad in like Nope that like dies from like the pennies or whatever?
I haven't seen that movie.
You haven't seen Nope?
No.
Oh, dude, go see Nope.
I should. I have it as a DVD.
What's his name? Keith David?
That name is familiar.
This guy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he plays tons of people.
Have you seen that clip on TikTok where it's like, welcome to hell, haha, and he just like laughs?
No.
Anyway, Keith David, he voices Darkseid.
Oh, that's perfect.
And it's so bizarre, and it's so funny. Just because
I think he plays some Jon Stewart, I want to say.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in They Live. Apparently he's the devil in Hit Monkey. So we have that to look forward to.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, he does like all kinds of shit. But yeah, I just want to mention that because
he's Darkseid.
Yeah.
Does Kite Man fight Darkseid?
I don't know, but it goes to like Apocalypse, and he's looking for the dark side, the anti-life equation. So
that sounds so fun.
Yeah, it's like a very insane show so far. You never seen that?
I don't think so. What is that from?
I don't know.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
If you know what that's from, write in.
So that's his most iconic line to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should watch Nope because it's a masterpiece.
Okay.
But did you watch anything else?
Nope.
Watch Batman Returns, Nathan.
The Nolan one?
No.
Wait. Batman Returns? Which one is that?
The Tim Burton movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
the sequel to Batman.
Yeah. Nice. How was that?
That has Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Oh, yeah.
And
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen that?
Yeah, it's a bizarre movie.
Very bizarre.
It's so... And Danny DeVito's disgusting.
Absolutely rancid.
Yeah, it's so gross. Whenever I think of gross Danny DeVito, it's that, and then that one Always Sunny in Philadelphia one where he's like gargling beer.
I think of him when he's like in the couch, like in the earlier episodes, or he's like just hiding in the couch, but he's like naked. And then he gets out and he's all sweaty.
I love that show. Anyway, yeah.
So like, Sarah's like said like she doesn't care what we watch, but then I start throwing out suggestions. She's like, no.
Okay.
And then she's like, too old. I'm like, how old can we go? She's like, 90s. I'm like, you want to watch a Danny DeVito movie?
Ooh, okay, that's how you sell her.
She's like, okay. And it was Batman Returns from 1992, I think.
Yeah, like Christopher Walken's in it, right? So
yeah, I didn't know Christopher Walken was in it. He's in it like the entire time.
Have you seen that movie all the way through?
I've never seen it before. That's why I put it on.
Oh, dude, it's been like a while since I've seen it all the way through for sure. So
yeah, it's like
spotty,
it's like a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
The thing with this one, I don't know if they did it in like the Batman movie, but like all the city is just like a set,
Mhm.
you know, and you can like see that,
Yeah.
you know, and so that was kind of like distracting in a way, but it's really cool. The
Yeah.
Catwoman shit is like really sick.
Yeah. I like that Catwoman design.
Yeah, I know.
It's like the stitches and stuff I think is cool.
Yeah, that's neat. You know how like some people don't like the Zack Snyder Batman because he like kills people and stuff? Michael Keaton like kills people in
So
this.
many people. He lights some dude on fire in that
Lights a
movie,
dude
doesn't
on
he?
fire.
Yeah.
He like sticks a bomb to a guy and like throws him down like the sewer thing,
And you're like, he's
and
dead.
it explodes. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, why are people mad at Batfleck? You know?
I don't think the narrative of like he doesn't kill was really that big yet.
I guess, yeah,
I don't know what popularized that. It was probably like the animated series or something. But,
maybe, yeah,
yeah, that he definitely murders some people.
yeah, definitely. I like how, because I was like Penguin when he's like, you know, like being a mobster and like being like a little corrupt, and in this
Yeah.
like Christopher Walken's like trying to help the Penguin like be like the mayor or whatever, and saw that was like really cool.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's so many like scenes, like there's like a lot of scenes to remember this movie by, and they're all just like weird, you
Yeah.
know. And it's just a very bizarre movie, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's good. I should rewatch it.
Yeah,
Have you watched the Batman and Robin
recently.
ever?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I remember watching Batman Forever and Batman and Robin a lot, like as a kid.
Really? A lot?
Yeah, like more than the other ones. I didn't
Really?
even know about the other, like Batman and Batman Returns. I just knew Batman, like, because like those are just like on, you know. And so
Have you watched 89 Batman?
Yeah, I watched that in college.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And so, and I didn't know about like Jack Nicholson Joker at the time, and so I was like, "This is incredible."
Yeah.
because he was just so bizarre seeing
He
him in
is-
like the makeup,
Yeah.
all his little different get-ups and stuff, and
For
so
sure.
yeah, I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
It's definitely like the best one. And then what else? I watched a movie called Hitman. Not the one based off like the video game.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a movie with Glenn Powell
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
that came out on Netflix.
I heard good things.
Yeah, it's really good. I liked it
Yeah.
a lot. With
Yeah.
Netflix shit, I'm like, why is it on Netflix? You know,
Yeah.
because I feel like if like,
Oh, it's a Netflix original, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
So it's a Richard Linklater movie. You probably know him best from School of Rock.
Ooh, love School Rock.
Yeah, great movie.
I didn't
And,
know that was the same guy.
Yeah, he has a pretty bizarre resume,
I'm looking at it right now.
but this one was cool because Glenn Powell like co-wrote it.
Oh.
You know, so I'm like, oh, this dude's got like talent. He's like a smart guy.
Yeah.
you know?
Good for him.
Not just a pretty face.
He's
you know,
big right now.
and
What do you think that Rotten Tomatoes is for Hitman?
I would guess like a 82 maybe
95.
95.
Yeah, that's big.
Audience.
95 critic. The audience is 91. So yeah,
Okay.
you're pretty close.
Yeah, so pretty. So people seem to like it.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, like it ends, and it was
that's
like
good.
it was based on like a real guy. Like it's based on like a true story. Like this is like a person that
real hitman?
existed. Yeah.
Whoa.
So what the concept is like Glenn Powell's like a professor or whatever, but he like volunteers with like the police department,
Okay.
and he's like a tech or whatever, and he like sets up like wires on people, and there's this guy who acts as like a hitman for people, and when people like hire him and like give him the money to kill somebody, they like arrest them
That's
or
smart.
whatever. And so the guy who is like the hitman impersonator, he like gets in like trouble, and so he has to be like the hitman in question.
Oh, okay. He's filling in.
Yeah. So he fills in, and he's like super into it. He has like 8 different like get-ups
Yeah.
that he wears, and they're super fun.
Nice.
Yeah, and the love interest in this is Adria Arjona,
Okay.
and she like tries to hire him as a hitman because she just wants like her husband to be killed, because I guess it's like an abusive relationship. And so he like talks her out of hiring a hitman so she doesn't get like arrested, you know?
Right.
And then like a kind of relationship like blooms from that, but he's like not himself. Like he's
He's playing a hitman.
He's playing a
character.
hitman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like this relationship starts from that, and it just kind of goes from there, and it's a lot of fun. It's really good.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
What's interesting about Richard Linklater is that on his known for IMDb, School of Rock is not on there.
Whack. What's he known for?
Boyhood,
Oh yeah.
which makes sense, but the other ones I haven't heard of. Waking Life, Before Midnight, and Slacker.
Okay.
So I just thought that was interesting. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, no, I think people should watch it. It's really good.
Yeah, I know that one's on my radar. Glenn Powell's pretty fucking big right now. It feels like.
Yeah,
so
he's like everywhere.
he is everywhere. Very
guess-
charming.
I guess Twisters is like killing it.
Yeah, people love Twisters. Somehow they're seeing it in 4D. I don't know where you go to see things in 4D.
I don't think we have that.
I don't think we do either, but I wish.
It
we
made
did.
like 80 million like its first weekend,
Yeah,
which is nuts.
that is cool for a movie about tornado.
Yeah, and he just keeps getting like signed up for like movies that he watched as like a child, you know,
Yeah.
like remakes and shit,
Yeah,
which seems like the dream.
that
you
does sound cool. I
yeah.
saw someone just on Twitter say that he should play Hal Jordan, and I agree.
I'd probably
he
go for
flew-
Booster Gold first, but
I would too, honestly, but that's taken by Mr. Kumail Nanjiani.
is that official?
Yes. I don't know.
That's what I think too.
They don't talk to me about these things,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah, very cool.
Yeah. What are we going to read next week, Nathan? What are we going to read next week?
I don't know. What should we do?
The Watchmen animated movie part 1
Oh, yeah,
will be
yeah,
coming
yeah.
out.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a Watchmen book that we could read. We could read Before Watchmen, perhaps.
We read the Watchmen book already.
Episode 50, go check it
Episode
out.
50. Yep, we were miserable.
We did. Dude, that took so long
We
to
did
read.
it though, and now it's done.
I used to go to the gym before work when we were reading that. And I had to skip the gym like 3 days in a row to read it.
Yeah,
And I'd read for like 2 hours in the morning.
it's so hard.
I feel like it took like 10 hours to read that book.
Yeah, it's-
for me.
It's good though. It's one of the best.
Yeah, it's good.
So we'll read Before Watchmen before the Watchmen movie comes out, so we know what's going on.
We have another episode of Before Watchmen. It's
do.
Dr. Manhattan and Owlman.
Now,
I
man.
keep wanting to say Birdman, but no,
No,
Owlman.
good movie though.
Good movie. So we're gonna want to do another one of those.
Yeah, I'm down for that. So
So should we do other members of the Watchmen, like the comedian and Rorschach?
I mean, we wouldn't do the same one from before.
That's
So,
true.
yeah.
That's true.
There's a comedian Rorschach one that I feel like is probably the better one to do. Unless you want to do Ozymandias and Crimson Corsair, the top 2 characters in Watchmen.
I don't
Crimson
know.
Corsair.
Dude, I think Ozymandias is my least favorite character to read. You know, in Watchmen.
yeah.
So I do not want to read that.
He's talking about some
That motherfucker's gonna be yapping, dude.
He is a snobby
The
yapper.
captions would go crazy in that book. Probably crazier than Dr. Manhattan.
I agree.
So
So are we going to do what we did last time and split up the characters?
yeah, because they're both trades, right? Essentially.
Yeah, the comedian and Rorschach one collects Watchmen Comedian, which is 1 through 6, and then Watchmen Rorschach, which is 1 through 4.
Okay.
So how should we decide who gets what?
I just kind of want to do comedian.
Okay, I'll do Rorschach.
All right, sounds good. And then we'll describe the book to each other.
Yeah, and then I'll talk in Rorschach's voice.
Rorschach's Journal.
Rorschach's journal.
And I'll be crying the whole time.
Yeah, I like that.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yep. So Before Watchmen next week, because that movie's coming out for some reason.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I'm excited.
I'm down to read Watchmen.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Yep.
Check out the link tree in the bio.
Yep.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Follow-
5 stars.
Follow some socials.
Stuff like that.
Yep.
Tell us your favorite Batman book. You know,
Yeah.
because, this one,
We've read some weird ones.
we've
I
read some
think.
weird ones. tradewaiterspod@gmail.com. And we'll
Thanks.
we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, y'all.
All right, bet.